Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Monday, June the 26th. We're gonna do a little garden update. I tell you what, it's wearing me out. I've been picking some more squash, picking some more beans. Okra's about to get ready, corn's looking good. Eating a few tomatoes here and there. Not doing much with old farm-all right now. She's just kind of sitting here waiting for something to do. Liking my little carry-all back there, that's kind of neat. I still keep looking at it thinking, hey, I gotta get to work on this thing, put some paint on it. But I don't know, hey, man, we'll just have to see how that goes. Let's go over and look at our tomatoes real quick. I'm telling you what, it's hot down here now. It's done hit 9 degrees. Come a nice little storm last night about bedtime, I guess. And it kicked up pretty good. I'm gonna do this little update. I'm gonna get on a lawnmower and do some mowing. Mow some patches that kind of need mowed. Not gonna spend a whole lot of the day on the lawnmower because it's so hot and I got a late start. Had a little job I had to do this morning and just got back to the house and so let me go do this and get what I can get done. Got some canning to do. We have picked, I think I've canned 8 jars and I'm canning 24-ounce jars. We're actually using it's Prego spaghetti sauce jars. They're made by Mason. The jar lids fit them. I figure they'll be good for canning. Seems like to me it's a pretty good little situation. I like them little jars. They're good size. What I really like about them, wife and I can dump them beans out, put some potatoes in there, cook them for about 30-40 minutes till the potatoes get soft and beans get soft. A little ham hock in there, bacon, whatever you want to put in it, seasoning. And it just makes a good size meal for me and her. It's enough for me and her. It's a little bit left over. So I like that size jar. They're 24 ounces what they are. But anyways, nah, it wouldn't be right, would it? Yeah, it would be 24 ounce. So anyways, yeah, 32 ounces a quart. So there you go. Excuse my math skills. I'm generally pretty good at math. At least I used to be when I was a lot younger. All right, here's our tomatoes. We got our little jungle of tomatoes, and they're coming along. We've got a few little old ripe ones right here. I think I'm gonna reach right here and pop this and off. Oh, it just looks good. We're gonna have a bunch of little cherry tomatoes this year. A bunch of them. And these little old peppers, these little pepperoni, Greek pepperoni peppers. They're good little peppers. And our bells, we have got several gallon bags of bell peppers about this size that we have got off our plants, and that's the only one on the 2 plants right now. So I'm hoping it'll go ahead and produce some more. I mean, there's some little pods right in there. Seems like production is slowed down. The jalapenos is doing great. This wall of tomatoes over here, I don't know if I'd say that's great or not, but it's, you know, there's plenty of them. I mean, there's just looks like, it's like, you know, almost a load of grapes or something. But I'm gonna say one thing: if y'all had never planted these black cherry tomatoes, these things are great. I mean, them are just delicious. And these orange Wellingtons, which is just a pretty tomato when they get ripe. I've ate a couple of them off of it, and I've sliced a few off for and cooked green tomatoes and okra and squash. But that's how our tomato plants is looking. I'm gonna walk you out to the corn patch and we'll take a look at it. Just make a little quick some quick rounds around the garden, and that's about all we're going to do today. Now I'm going to get on lawnmower and I'm going to mow around all my patches and just areas, maybe hit the front yard and backyard and just do some stuff that has to be done. I'm going to do a little more mowing as it cools off. I got kind of behind today, and it's something just has to be done. And I'm gonna get in the house and do some more canning, because I've got a bunch of green beans that needs canning. I should end up by 16 jars of that stuff on the shelf. And probably we'll do about about 24, maybe 30 of them. That's probably about all we'll put on the shelf. Be all me and Herb will eat in a year's time. And I've been giving a ton of squash away. I mean, it's just, squash is just still producing. Yesterday picked 2 baskets, probably picked a basket and a half of beans. Picked up 5, 6, 7, 8 cucumbers. That's just, been picking every other day. That seems like it's working out. I pick it in the morning one day and in the evening the other. So really it's, a day and a part of the next one anyway. So it's every other day, but like I said, I'm alternating whether I pick it in the morning or the evening as well. But anyways, let me take y'all out to corn and we'll do a little walk around. All right, we out here at the corn. Trying to make this video kind of short. If I wasn't in such a hurry, I'd just sit down over there and talk to you a while. This old corn's coming on. Well, like I said last night, we had some pretty good storms come through, and it's just kind of odd how up through there it took just laid a few stalks down, but it sure did. Just kind of done it very randomly. But this Silver Queen's coming on strong now. It's coming on strong. It's tossing out, making some ears. There's some real full looking ears on there. I kind of want to pick 1 or 2 of them. Find a couple of them that's just real full. Pick them, eat them, but that'll probably, since that one's on the ground, it may not be worth cooking, but I don't think it's gonna live. That's a pretty full ear right there. I mean, it's looking good. Walk around this way. Seemed like it rained a lot last night. I mean, I heard a thunderstorm, the lightning, the wind. It was kicking. And then, but as I get down here in the garden and look around, nothing's particularly wet. Cucumbers, they're doing real well. I mean, I'll get 6 or 8 every day. Old beans, they're doing real well. Get over to the squash. Let's see, I picked it yesterday evening, I guess. Right before dark. I kind of remember it was just about pitch black when I got through and got at the house. And yeah, look at it. You come down and I go, boy, I must have missed that one yesterday. I don't think I did. I believe it just, in fact, this road down here, wife and I both went over it yesterday. I picked it and then I went over picked the beans and come back. She said, oh, I see some you missed. She went back down through there and picked 2 or 3. I said, I just believe it growed since I picked the beans. I don't know, and maybe not, but there's still a lot of squash coming in. And I'm not putting it up anymore because, hey, I mean, we got all we need in our freezer, right? You know, if we're gonna put okra up and corn up, we're gonna have to have another freezer. We got 2 refrigerator freezers and we got 1 freezer, and everything is full. I'd say right now the biggest thing that's concerning me is they're wanting to do knee surgery on me in a few weeks, and I'm just not sure how that's going to work out with me and my garden. You know, hey, there's a little okra pod coming on in there. Let's see what our okra's looking like. There's another one. Oh man, look at that okra. There's one out there. These 9-degree temps will bring this okra on. Yeah, sure enough. And these 3 little short rows of okra, excuse me, I have got sweat in my eyes. It is burning. And the gnats is loving me too. But these 3 little short rows of okra, and I'm gonna say they're probably 75 feet long, maybe. That is all the okra that we will need. Now I'm still picking the squash, not putting it up. I'm just eating it. We're eating squash 2 or 3 times a week because I'm not wanting to use what I put in the freezer. So we're gonna eat squash until I'm just tired of it, and I'll come down here and plow it under. And then it'll be down to just this okra. And the beans, I imagine they'll thin out pretty soon what they're producing. And then we're gonna bring in that Silver Queen corn, and it'll come in pretty quick. I mean, it'll almost all come in at the same time. And I'll cut it, get it up there, get it off the cob, turned into kind of a cream corn, put it in the freezer, and we'll put some just ears of corn up. Then we got our yellow corn, and we got our yellow field corn or white field corn. And we'll eat some of it as well. All right, there you go. That's just a quick update on today's garden. My next thing is get on a lawnmower and just hit some of the high spots, mow around the garden, mow the front yard, backyard, all the little trails I walk every day. Kind of helps keep the bugs off of you. So I just appreciate everybody's kind of following along on this thing. So garden's really doing well. I was sitting there thinking the other day about my assessment of the Farmall, since this is the first year I've really used the Farmall in the gardening process. And it's made things better. I mean, usually I can only fertilize it before I plant, because all I'm working with is just a tiller. And with the Farmall, I was actually able to lay fertilizer by the plants when I planted it and twice after that. So I was able to utilize fertilizer a lot better. And then the planting process was just easy. I mean, it was, I was actually on jury duty that week, and jury duty let out about 3 o'clock that evening. I come home. I had the tractor hooked up, ready. I used the Covington planter or the 3-point hitch setup I got on the back of it, and just went out there and planted everything. Planted the corn, the beans, the okra, squash, everything. And you know, was able to just knock out the planting relatively quick. As soon as it got high enough to run my healers through it, I run my healers through it. I think before I run the healers through it, I had actually laid by one time and cultivated. And I believe I run the healers. And then I run the healers and cultivated. So I'm thinking that's how I done it. Anyways, you know, I can see making a lot of improvements next year, because this first year I've ever owned a farm mall. I grew up with 53 Ford Jubilee, 2600, a 4000 tractor, a 3000 tractor. Like I said, I remember my neighbor owning an old farm mall, and I'm like, why in the world would you want one of those? And I don't think he ever made the best use of the tractor. Time rolled along, he bought him an old 8N, which is a lot like the Ford Jubilee we had, but it just had to let the clutch out before the PTO would work. Or, that's not right. Well, the PTO wasn't independent. There you go, how about that? It wasn't independent of the lift, it had an independent lift. You had to let the clutch out for the lift to work on the older tractors. But it was still a good old tractor. I think it was a better tractor for him. And then he traded it in, went and bought him a John Deere 750, which was nowhere near as big a tractor. I mean, it had the horsepower rating, it had all the rating in the world, but it could not do what that 08N done. And then he went and traded it in on a 950, which was pretty comparable to it. That 950 was a pretty good little old garden tractor for him. I also had mules too. We had old mule named Kate. She's a good old mule. That's the only mule I reckon I ever plowed was Kate. And plowed mules was a little bit before my time. Dad done it a lot. My next door neighbor done it a lot. They shared the use of the mule. But old Kate was a good old mule. She knew exactly what you was telling her to do. You know, jihad and whoa, she knew exactly what to do. And I mean, other than you had to walk behind it. But Kate was an old mule, kind of slow. Dad and my next door neighbor, they were both had a year or two on them, so they were just a good match for each other. And but yeah, I don't think I'm gonna go back to those mule plying days. Not now, anyways. Not at this point. I think the old 62 farm all 140 is about as far back as I'm gonna go for. It's just reaching back into history, and you know, unless the world sure enough turns upside down, which that's a whole nother story for another day. You know, there's homesteaders and preppers, and I follow a lot of them channels, and you know, to extent, some of what I'm doing is prepping. But you know, I kind of rather just think of it as just, you know, what I'm doing is more of a hobby for enjoyment, and I am enjoying it. I mean, it's getting, you know, when you're sitting there 92, 95 degrees, and you know, you're out here with gnats flying all over you, you know, picking produce, trying to keep up. Hey, it turns into a lot of work, a lot of work. There is no doubt about it. But here we are, we're going into July now. We're near the end of this month. I'll pick this okra, you know, either in the morning or evening. Corn's gonna come in when it'll be over with. Won't be long, the beans will be over with. I mean, this season will be over with. You know, when we're doing one in August, The only thing that's going to be out there standing is going to be the okra. I mean, the cucumbers will be gone. I'll have them plowed under by then. Beans, they won't be producing enough to amount to anything. Corn will all be picked. Now I may be dealing with some of the corn because I'm going to dry some of it out and grind it for the chickens. So I've got, I don't have cows or pigs or anything, but I guess if I had cows, I may even grind be feeding the corn stalks to the cows. I'd like to have some cows. I really would. It'd be awesome. But I don't have a lot of flat ground. I mean, I've looked at some spots. I could find even where I could put them out here in the garden area and just fence the garden off when it's time to plant. We've talked about it. But anyways, I'm sorry I rattled on like that. I didn't mean to go on and on, but that's the Day's Garden update, and I'll try to do something about midweek, and especially if this corn gets ready to pick. I'm kind of anxious for some of this corn. Like I said, I may go out there and just pick me a couple of them ears that just look full. See how they'd cook out tonight. Wouldn't hurt to pick a couple of them anyway, see how they really look on the inside. All right, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.